the other question would be, does everyone who's depressed or who's going through a period of depression, do they end up wanting to kill themselves?
Okay. Well, not everybody. You see, depression can be classified different ways. You have those that have what they call a major depressive disorder, and have those that have what they call a bipolar affective disorder. Now, in the bipolar affective disorder, they're either depressed or they are manic. And for those that have the major depressive disorders, they always have depression. Now, depression can be divided into mild, moderate, or severe. Now, for the mild cases, they can still function. They feel unhappy, they feel worn down once in a while, but they still function. For those kind of people, you may just need counseling to help them, to motivate them out. Now, for those that are moderate, you need medications. But for the severe depression, it is the severe depression that comes with the suicidal ideations or plans. In fact, once somebody is depressed and starts to have suicidal ideations or plans, then you call it severe. Once somebody is depressed and starts to have what we call psychotic features, like hearing voices of unseen people or feeling paranoid, people are after you, people want to harm you. When you start to have all those kind of paranoia, then you call it severe depression. So it is for those that have severe depression that will tend to have suicidal ideations or plans.
Okay. Dr. Machongo, African society has always had the social support which serves as a buffer against the harsh conditions, which was why in the past cases of suicide were, minimal. So what has happened that is making it something that we now have to be talking about on television?
Thank you very much. I think suicide is not a new thing. It's been happening, but we've really neglected it in Africa, or let me narrow it down to Nigeria. But recently, we've been having quite a number of suicide cases. There are so many reasons why people commit suicide, just like my Dr. Etudo said. Now we believe that currently in Nigeria the recession is one of the things, because we've been having some cases of suicide, but it has never been this serious, and most of the cases or the reasons why people committed suicide was never poverty per se, but recently, in recent times, most of the cases we're having is economical. People who can really fend for themselves, who can take care of their bills. Most of the times they feel trapped. You can imagine the Ponzi scheme that came in. A lot of people invested several amounts of money, and they couldn't get the appropriate dividend. So that really pushed a lot of people, because most of these people, they borrowed a lot of money to do these businesses, thinking they were going to gain and pay back. And since that isn't coming forth, a lot of them felt the only option is just to commit suicide, because I would say they became overwhelmed with the challenges. Apart from people whom you're owing, you still have responsibilities at home to take care of. So it's one of the reasons why we're having quite a number of suicide in Nigeria currently. I understand that the economic challenges we're having is not peculiar to Nigeria alone, but we could say we would want to rather narrow down to Nigeria, where we're having quite a number. A few years ago, we would have only one suicide case in 2 months or 2 in 3 months, but currently almost every day we have one case or the other. People keep calling in. So we really believe that we need to sensitize people and see how we can reach out to these people and find solution to their problems. These people are actually trapped in one thing or the other, and they felt the only option is to commit suicide.
Dr. Ojo, research has shown that depression is more common among women, but we're seeing a lot more suicides among men. How do you explain that?
Oh, well, that's very interesting, but it's not new. What is known to everyone is that women actually makes more attempts, but men are completers.
Ah,
yes. So
okay.
You have.
So you can say that women don't really want to kill themselves; they're just making the attempt.
They just want that
But men want the attention. But men start and finish the act.
Maybe not really that they seek for attention, but like my colleague was saying something about the issue of deliberate self-harm or attempted suicide. Some don't actually want to commit suicide. They just want attention. But what has been found out is that one of the risk factors for eventual completing suicide is people that have attempted in the past or have had deliberate self-harm. You talk about people that just slash their wrist, just to. There are many reasons why people do that. So women tend to use more, what's it called, less leader means, than men. Men are more brutal in their approach, So if a man really wants to do it, he wants to do it. And so women sometimes prevaricate. I'm not really sure that I want to do like this. That, And if you want to look at how serious is this attempted suicide, where is the person doing it, in what circumstances, did they leave a note, is there somewhere that is it around an environment that people can come to their rescue? But look at what happened to my departed colleague. He went to what's it called, the Third Mainland Bridge, where it off from any attention, and off he went. But maybe just somebody in the office went to the bathroom and just take some soap. Women will most likely maybe want to ingest something, but men will actually want to use, who really want to commit suicide will use more leader means. And it depends, the means or method for committing suicide differ from society to society. In high income countries, you see people using firearm because they have access to it. But here, I think the commonest thing around here is hanging with rope, and then this recent thing that we're seeing. And even people have talked about some very important sites in the world where people go to commit suicide. In the US, I think there's I've forgotten the name of this bridge. It's a popular arena for people to commit suicide.
Bridge. Okay, but there's this thing about suicides, dealing with societal challenges. Why is it that some people consider the suicide the best option to dealing with societal challenges? I mean, we don't have that, the statistics is not that high here. Maybe I should send this question to Machongo. The statistics may not be that high in Nigeria in terms of suicide rates, but in other climes, or in some other climes where things like the economy and things are okay per se, there's power, there's you can always find your way around. We see here cases of suicides being attempted. Why do they consider suicide the best option to dealing with societal challenges?
Okay, I feel most of these people have one reason or the other. Like my friend said, their resiliency may not be strong, might have been weak in a way, and a lot of these cases, depending on what they are going through at the moment, it may not really be economical. It could be mental. It could be any other thing. But I feel people should develop their resiliency and also see how they can set a goal in life. Sometimes, you know, when you don't have a goal or when you don't have a purpose in life, or you don't locate your purpose in life, you may tend to behave irrationally. I believe that when you have a purpose you're living for, you would want to live a day more. So most of the times, these people, they feel trapped in a certain situation that they don't seem to get a way out. Most of the times they are overwhelmed, and mostly they seem, the only option for them is suicide, simply because sometimes people do this because they want to punish someone. Someone could just decide, I'm going to go and you're going to see what will happen to you when I'm gone. So sometimes they don't do it for themselves, they do it for the people around them. They just want to punish someone. We have a lot of reasons why people do what they do. I can't say for sure because I am not one of them, but I think one of the reasons why people do this, even with in the countries where the economic is soaring, is mental, and it is also personal, depending on what circumstance they find themselves in. I think that's my take on that.
Now, staying with you, Dr. Machongo, you are of the Nigeria Suicide Prevention Initiative, and when you spoke earlier, you said that it seems to be rising because of the economic situation. So the recession is not going to go away tomorrow. So what is your initiative doing to ensure that we don't see too many cases of people taking their own lives?
Okay. We're looking at developing people's resiliency and reaching out to corporate organizations and even the government and individuals who can come in to our aid. We could also see how we can reach out to these people. Some of them may not really be economical, like I said, but some are economical. And if you want to treat someone who has depression and perhaps the cause of his depression is economical, you don't just counsel such a person and tell him, okay, it is well with you, go ahead and everything will be fine. You have to look beyond that and make sure you ease off the cause of that depression.
Well, we'll take that break now that Dr. Machongo is coming. I will take that break and we'll come back to continue the conversation with Dr. Machongo.